It's Dr. Sarah Larsen. We're at Lesson 21 in A Course in Miracles. With us today is Greg Roach and baby Larsen. So Lesson 21 is I am determined to see things differently. The idea for today is obviously a continuation and extension of the preceding one. This time, however, specific mind-searching periods are necessary, in addition to applying the idea to particular situations as they arise. 5 practice periods are urged, allowing a full minute for each. And so, baby Larsen, I would love for you to share what comes up for you with this.
Yeah, well, the practice is very concrete for this lesson. They say here down later on, this is what the practice would be. I am determined to see name of a person differently, or I am determined to specify the situation differently. And so when I was going through this lesson earlier, it's like, wow, there it is. I am determined to see Sarah, meaning you, differently, and I am determined to see Jasmine, our daughter, and Tyler, our son, and Alex, our nephew. It's like all these people who I'm with every day. It's such a powerful reminder that I am so intentional in being with them, and I just love this. Or it could be a specific situation. I'm determined to see traffic on the 405 here in Los Angeles differently. There's all these situations that can arise that I'm aware of already, that if I can bring this approach to it and this determined way of being to seeing them differently, I already feel great relief. I already feel the powerful effects of this profound teaching in such a practical way. Thank you, Course, for these lessons. I'm so grateful.
Wonderful. Awesome. And Greg Roach, I'd love for you to share your experience with this lesson.
Well, the thing that really leapt out to me was when they used the phrase attack thoughts.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I encountered that, it's like, what? Because, a thought, so we believe, is the opposite of a concrete thing that you could attack somebody with, like an attack thought. That's just crazy. But when we were talking a couple of lessons back, the idea that thoughts are like bullets, and that if you could see is so dramatically the impact of a thought, the same way that you can a bullet, you'd be a lot more careful with them. And and I love how they talk about the fact that we want to delude ourselves about degrees of attack, and we want to say, oh, well, this is a little anger, this is a little mean thought that I have, but this is a big mean thought, and so that's more important. And but going back to that analogy, if thoughts are like bullets, well, is a little bullet any less destructive than a big bullet? Not really, And so to me, that's really just a profound thing, the idea of an attack thought, and the responsibility that concept carries with it, and asking yourself with everything that you do, exerting that level of mental hygiene with every thought. Is this an attack thought? Am I doing harm? Am I creating destruction or discord with this thought? That's just, wow. I'm gobsmacked still, and run across it again. I'm like, wow, that's just really something.
That's such a great word, and a real distinction that you're bringing out. This lesson really, to me, points out the attack is the ego's plan for salvation, and again, salvation meaning being saved from all that would hurt and limit us. So the ego's plan for salvation is attack, which it promises will make us safe and obtain for us idols and special relationships. And when I was a young mom, and I would bring Jazzy and later on Tyler to play dates and play experiences, and I would witness one of the kids be really mean to another kid, and I would get just this, this is where this lesson really came in for me, which was this I wanted to protect all the children, especially my children, from anything in the world that would hurt them. And it was really interesting, the first sort of plans that my mind would make, my ego would make, for getting the kids back into the safe space. And, you know, the thoughts of punishment, or the thoughts of how would I get this point across of love and fairness and forgiveness and kindness and the golden rule. And at the same mind, my mind was going into, God, what's wrong with this child, or what's wrong with this child's parent? Why can't they? And I began to realize that I idealized fairness. I idealized children having this idyllic world to play in. And later on, when the rush of emotions would, the attack that my ego was planning out, when that would subside a little bit through breaths and through drinking water, or through just having reflection, when that would subside, my right mind, my right thinking would come in, and it would share, oh, these kids are learning. They're actually experiencing and growing how, cause and effect with each other. They have to go through these experiences. They have to go through the energy of, this toy is only mine, mine, mine. You can't have it no matter what. When my mind would get back into a place of being saved from the hurts and that which limits us, I'd recognize, wow, that first child that's holding on so tightly doesn't know how to separate itself from that toy. These other children that are suffering at some level, experiencing pain at some level, are really learning how to cope and how to connect and how to make requests, and how this is a learning growth experience. And they really get to learn forgiveness in this. That's one of the things that can come through this, that our spirit is here, according to the Course, to really get forgiveness down to the core, a real understanding of salvation, and a real understanding of forgiveness. And so this lesson, that self-forgiveness, because once I would have those ego those attacking thoughts, I would really condemn myself. And so this really helped me to see things differently, moment to moment on the playground, moment to moment with how I was with myself, moment to moment. It started training me really, again, very intentionally, how to see the best qualities that I could in the moment, with each person and each situation that I found myself in. So, Baby Larsen, any closing thoughts on Lesson 21?
You know, it's just that, again, it's this whole thing of just seeing this, and there was something I read here earlier. I just wanted to go back to that real quick if I can find it. I didn't see it here right away, so it's just, I think that what Greg brought about earlier, it's just that there's, you know, we have these, what we would judge as little thoughts, and because there's just a little bit of anger behind it, because there's just a little bit of sadness behind it, there's no, you know, not taking it with as much, not being as diligent in determining that while even a little bit of anger continues that flow of anger, then it might be bigger later on. And so we just have to be so diligent in you know, in deciphering, is this a positive thought or a negative thought, a loving thought or a fearful thought? It doesn't matter how big or small it is, just tuning in at that level so we can move forward, you know, opening up moving into this more expanded place and getting rid of these old thoughts. It takes so much energy to escape the gravity of Earth. That's why, you know, rocket ships have all this fuel on board, and these huge rockets because they have to escape the gravity of Earth in order to get into space. And we have to escape the gravity of this old conditioning, this old way of being. And the only way to do that is just to have that level of determination and focus so we can harness all of our energy to escape the gravity of this old way of being. And so that's why they really hit home this level of determination to push through that, to see things differently, to see your thoughts differently, see these images differently so you can escape and move into this realm of salvation.
Beautiful. And Greg Roach.
Yeah, that's a great way to characterize it, Greg. It really is. You know, for me, I think this lesson is just such a razor. You know, it just clefts things like cleanly in two. You know, and you know, it's either one or the other, and your determination is which side of that fence are your perceptions going to fall. You know, I am determined to see things differently.
That's so beautiful. And so I leave with The Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl, when he shares, I leave this lesson with when he stepped into the concentration camp and met a man who had already lost his wife. And at that moment, Viktor Frankl's wife was still alive, and he felt this level of just a profound joy in that space of ultimate torture and ultimate society, you know, everything being torn from him. He got, in that moment when he knew his wife was still alive, he was able to see his experience of life differently, and so and to feel profound joy. And I think when those we love, those that from day to day, every situation that we find ourselves in, using this lesson and staying with this can really bring in that profound joy that Viktor Frankl found when in the concentration camp, when he felt the feeling, wow, my wife is still alive. And so I'm so grateful for all of you guys that joined us in this Course in Miracles, Lesson 21, and we will see you in the next one.